Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio.
Morgan, today we're talking about one of the rides that I would say this is like a house favorite.
This is a house favorite.
Yeah.
We love this ride. This is a must-do every time I go to Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
There's two rides I have to do when I go to Animal Kingdom, and this is one of them.
What's the other one?
Everest.
Yeah.
And I only say that like that because I love Pandora and I love Flight of Passage, but like the line makes it not possible sometimes. Where these two,
you don't always have 3 hours in the middle of your day.
Yeah, exactly. I don't always have 3 hours.
Right.
And even for Kilimanjaro, which I like, although I wouldn't call it a must-do, it can be such a long experience.
Yeah.
Dinosaur and Everest both have a kind of predictable wait, and it's a predictable amount of time that you're on there, and it's an amazing experience. That's why it makes my must-do.
Right. And usually Dinosaur, the wait isn't too... we're doing Dinosaur, by the way.
Yeah.
In case we didn't say it. The wait usually isn't too overwhelmingly
no, not anymore.
Terrible. On busy days it can get up there, but
that even when you do, I feel like it's a nice air-conditioned queue. I wonder if we talked about it on the queues episode, but that was like 2 years ago. Maybe. It's a good queue. It's air-conditioned. It's got the music. It's stuff to look at. You get to listen to Bill Nye.
Have you ever had to wait so long that you're in the extended queue in the garden section with the statues of the dinosaurs?
If I have, not since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Only one time.
As an adult?
As an adult.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the line was, I believe, just over an hour.
I feel like sometimes you will go and you'll do that because you're with a friend that doesn't go all the time. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
That never happens to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
When I go with my family who doesn't go all the time, we buy Genie Plus, or back in the day we would utilize Fast Pass. I never am like, sure, I'll stand in an hour-long line for this, but you do it with Tori quite a bit.
Yeah, sometimes I do, whether I'm with a friend who doesn't get to go all the time and would rather do some of the headlining experiences, even if it means standing in line for a little bit longer, or if I feel like a lot of time has gone by without me riding something and that I'm missing it so much.
Craving
I'm willing to put in the...
Was it with Tori?
That time with Dinosaur, I don't remember if it was with Tori or with my husband Tyler.
Okay.
But I'm gonna guess it was with Tori because my husband does not like to go to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, and I don't feel like he would be as inclined to wait in a line like that, but I think she would because of her career.
Yeah, well, she does love Dinosaur. She's an archaeologist. She does love Dinosaur.
We're always joking with her about digging up dinosaur bones, which apparently she doesn't do on a daily basis.
Nope.
But in our heads, she does.
She's in our hearts. She's a paleontologist, but in reality, she is not. Yeah. But Tyler also loves Dinosaur, my husband. Okay. Even though Animal Kingdom is not his go-to park, he loves Dinosaur.
Right. They've got a theory that Animal Kingdom is hotter than the other parks.
Oh, we just feel hotter at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, it's a internet sensation that Animal Kingdom is hotter than other parks.
Yeah, we should do an episode that maybe could have come up on our...
You think we should go temp the parks?
Ooh, we could. Maybe. But maybe it's just humidity from the plants. That's something I've seen written online a bunch. Is that all the plants cause a rainforest humidity factor. I'm not a doctor or a scientist, so I can't, I can't run the experiments. And I guess we could.
We could. All we have to do is take a thermometer. I've got a turkey thermometer.
Leave a comment if you want Morgan to take your turkey thermometer into Animal Kingdom.
I'm going to.
It's not going to get past bag check. Your turkey.
That's a good question. We'll see. We'll see. We'll film it.
Way to find out. All right.
Before we get into the history, Jake did a bunch of research on Dinosaur the Ride, and we're going to talk about that and all of the fun dinosaur facts. But before we get into that, I do want to mention real quick, I am a travel agent. So if you are thinking about booking a Disney World, Disneyland, or a cruise vacation, any cruise, it doesn't have to be Disney, please email me at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com, and then we'll exchange contact information and I can help you book your trip. Doesn't cost you anything. They pay me. It's like a commission thing. I can get you the same deal that you would get online or better, plus you get a free gift from me. And if you've booked a trip with Disney in the last 30 days, I can just transfer it to me and still get you all those perks. Yeah. So something to think about.
Yeah, you can always benefit from extra value
Yeah.
on your vacation by utilizing Morgan as a travel agent. And if you enjoy her on the podcast, then you should also give us a good old like if you're on YouTube watching the visual version, or if you're on the audio version of the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, then it would be awesome if you could subscribe to the show and leave us a review if you've enjoyed the episode.
Yes, that would be super helpful.
Yeah. We love reading what you guys have to say.
Yeah. All right. So back to the scary dinosaurs.
Back to the scary dinosaurs. They're not that scary.
Some of them are.
It's just because they're in the dark.
Yeah, I think some of them are really meant to be scary, though, right?
Yeah, no, they are. They're a little spooky. This is a ride where children really scream.
Yeah.
They're not like ready for the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's an interesting fit for Disney because I think it's kind of scary. Like, there's a Universal Jurassic World ride. Yes. Do these get compared ever?
Oh yeah, Jurassic Park River Adventure is and Islands of Adventure is the other dinosaur themed
scary
dark ride of Orlando.
Jurassic Park the movie scared me like crazy when I was a kid.
Yeah, it had very convincing special effects.
Yeah, for the 90s.
The scene with the water.
Yes,
the kids trapped in the car. Yeah.
I've been on the Universal ride too, and it has that same dinosaur coming at you from the front as we do at the end.
Yes, and we'll actually get into a little bit later in the episode. There's a specific change within the operations of the attraction that results in the finale being the way it is now. And it was really only then where you had those finales that kind of paralleled each other that you started getting people noticing how similar the two were.
I just thought those like seemed like they could be the same animatronic, but I don't know because I didn't go on them at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we can talk about it later if you've got that planned in. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, you're good. I've got a little list of updates or replacements to effects that have happened within the attraction, throughout its history, and one of them is the finale where we talk about that scene a little bit.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
God, now I want to know. I'll be patient. Sorry.
That's okay. The ride in its original form, though, was, like you said, kind of scary. It's kind of because it's from that era of Michael Eisner wanting to put scarier stuff on.
Oh my gosh, it's from the same era as the alien encounter? Is that what you're saying?
Basically,
oh my god.
The 90s. I mean, the 90s and 2000s. But yeah, it's definitely a product of the same.
So this is Michael Eisner's teenagers doing?
I mean, in a roundabout way, probably, yeah. Maybe not.
I like it. I like that Disney's really good about having like some stuff for all the different age groups. And I don't think this is so scary that a lot of like younger kids that aren't too young don't appreciate it.
No, yeah. If they're really little, it can be scary, but it's also like there are so many warnings that it's going to be scary. Yeah. That it's not like it's, should be a surprise.
Right. When my kid was like 9 and we moved back to Florida, that it was kind of a scary experience at that point. And I remember some like arm grabbing and eyes closed, but
That was just me. Sorry, Morgan. Get really dark and scary in there. Yeah. All right, let's start at the dawn of time.
Great.
It's the Big Bang. No, let's just start with 1995.
Okay.
When Walt Disney, the company, announces that it's going to build a 4th theme park, and Michael Eisner says that it's going to explore the existing animals of today, extinct animals, and animals of fantasy.
Okay.
So we can, Michael Eisner, here he is, already entering our story.
Yeah. So, and if you look at the gates of Animal Kingdom, you still see that there's a dinosaur and you see that there's a dragon. And that was for a part of the park that never got created, which I guess that doesn't really relate to dinosaur, but I just feel like it's always worth mentioning when we're talking about the beginning of Animal Kingdom time.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Originally, that land, Beastly Kingdom was super hinted at in everything that Disney was doing to promote the park, to create signage for the park, every facet of the park. This was advertised for, including like a tie-in toy series with McDonald's. One of the toys was a dragon.
Did they make the toy?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. Like one
is
of the
it worth
toys
like hundreds of dollars now?
I don't know. I bet a lot of people have them.
Yeah.
You could probably.
It's not like they stopped making them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Wait, do you know if Beastly Kingdom? This isn't what you researched, so you might not know.
Okay.
Do you know if Beastly Kingdom was supposed to be where Pandora is now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That plot of land was set aside to be Beastly Kingdom. Then I'll tie us back to the topic like this.
Okay, sorry.
Then when we got closer to the construction of Animal Kingdom and they realized they had started to go over budget in a big way, a decision had to be made between keeping Dino Land and Beastly Kingdom. And Dino Land was going to be way, way, way cheaper than Beastly Kingdom.
Interesting.
So they ended up going with that and temporarily converting the planned Dino Land or the planned Beastly Kingdom land into Camp Mini Mickey, which is where they originally had, just about, where they originally had Festival of the Lion King, and they built a small Pocahontas show in that area called Pocahontas and Her Forest Friends.
Right, and you could meet Mickey and Minnie in cute safari gear.
Yeah, there was meet Mickey Minnie there as well.
Cute.
Yeah,
I like that outfit. I want a Dapper Day that one day.
Yeah, that would be fun. And a lot of iconic Camp Mickey Minnie signage. They had a lot of fun, posted signs in the area.
I don't think I ever went over there I didn't see the Pocahontas show that you talked about in another episode, and I don't remember actually meeting them over there. I remember seeing all the signs, but I remember thinking that looked like kind of a little kid area.
I loved shows as a kid, so I always bugged my family to see the Pocahontas show. Yeah, I wanted to see her sing Colors of the Wind. And I would still be going now. If it were there now, I would sit on one of those little logs.
Yeah.
And I would be there. Anyway.
Sorry, I got you so off track. I'm so sorry.
You're good. I don't even remember.
Dinosaur.
Right. Of course. How could I forget? All right. So those were the categories. They were existing animals, extinct animals, and animals of fantasy. And the extinct animals were going to be represented in Dino Land USA.
Right.
Specifically in this attraction, everybody's favorite, Countdown to Extinction, which is what it was originally called when the park opened.
Which is crazy. I don't remember that. I thought that Jake mentioned this to me a couple days ago, and I mentioned it to my parents because it made me think, did I not even go when it was first opened? Because Animal Kingdom opened in 1998, and you said it was called this for like 3 years, right? Something like that.
Until 2000.
Okay, so 2 years. And I don't remember that at all, but I was a kid. They don't remember. They don't think that we went in 98 or 99 or 2000 because there wasn't a lot there. They didn't think
a lot of people
consumers that were watching the Not a Zoo commercials but not being convinced, I guess.
That was a common complaint about Animal Kingdom when it opened, was that a lot of people felt right from the get-go that it was like more zoological, didn't have as many rides, which was true, or that
which was very true. They intended it as a half-day park, right, to begin with?
I don't know.
Maybe they never did.
I've never heard that, but it's possible.
I think a lot of people still think of it as a half-day park.
Yeah, definitely. If there's one park that has a reputation for that kind of thing, I think it would be Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, it closes at 7. What are you going to do?
Yeah, the runtime, the operating hours, I should say, are definitely... they're not great.
I will say, from a travel planning point of view, if you decide to make a whole day of it, then you can get a dining reservation somewhere like Yak and Yeti. I love Yak and Yeti. If you got that like right at 7, right before 7, then that kind of extends your night to be till 8:30 or so.
That is nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
And then you get to walk out of a fully lit Animal Kingdom.
Exactly, and it's gorgeous at night.
Yeah.
But I thought Countdown to Extinction would make more sense as a title for Primeval Whirl because to me they had the countdown going when you were on that ride.
Yeah, the clock hands. Yeah. I remember.
Didn't you say that you felt like they were those two were the same kind of rides in different forms?
Yeah, because the story in my mind, well, the true Imagineering story is that the Dino Institute was a popular tourist destination, so Chester and Hester brought their like sideshow.
This is the backstory,
right? This is like the
Disney lore. Backstory. Yeah. Okay.
So Chester and Hester brought their sideshow carnival type experience in the parking lot.
Are Chester and Hester humans in this lore?
I don't know.
Okay, because I've seen pictures where it say Chester and Hester's and it looks like they're dinosaurs, but I think based on the lore, if I'm understanding it correctly, they're just humans that set up a dinosaur like carnival.
That's my impression.
In the parking lot of a dinosaur museum.
Yeah, I've not heard tell that they're dinosaurs. Okay. That would make the story more interesting. If they managed to like logistically be able to operate a profitable carnival business.
Yeah, I think they've got to be humans.
Right.
Okay, go on.
So Primeval Whirl, in my mind, the reason that you go back in time and then go into a swirl and take a left-hand turn and avoid all the dinosaurs is because it's just the carnival version of dinosaur. But that doesn't actually make story sense. It just makes logical sense in my
after
mind.
You said that to me when we were talking about doing this episode, I was like mind blown about it. It was like glass shattering. I was like, oh my gosh, they have the same plot. Just one is like a carnival ride and one's a legit, you know what I mean?
Like a dark ride. Yeah. Like a real
ride. A Disney ride.
Do you miss Primeval Whirl, or did you just never ride it so you don't even care?
I wish it was still there because it looks ridiculous. Dino Land USA looks ridiculous with this blank spot.
And it does look sad.
They put some picnic tables up there and it's like, oh, what are you doing? This isn't Disney. But I personally didn't like the feeling of like I'm about to go over the edge. You know what I mean?
You don't like having all your bones broken at the same time?
No. So I didn't, but I didn't hate it so much that I never went on it, but it was never my idea.
Yeah.
So occasionally I'd wind up on it, but it was never something that I was like, oh, we need to go on this because I didn't love the feeling of it.
Yeah. I rode it all the time as a child. I have some fun memories on it, so I'm kind of sad it's gone.
Always kind of made me feel like it was about to fall apart, which is what a good carnival ride feels like, I guess. That's part of...
Yeah.
They nailed it. They nailed the carnival ride experience.
It did really feel like one of the many... Mouse Trap, I think that's what they're called, right? That type. Oh, Wild Mouse, sorry. Like the Wild Mouse roller coasters.
Oh, yeah.
Any roller coaster like that where it's like a car and it spins around.
Oh, my gosh.
And you go on
you mean like Mouse Trap, like that toy thing from when I was a kid?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But they're called Wild Mouse. So that was
But I see the comparison to the toy.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad you understand why my mind is doing what it's doing, is what I mean to say.
Yeah, they've got the same kind of ride in some other parks that are less amazing.
Or like York County Fair.
Yes, or York County Fair. Yeah. And I think there's used to be a version of something like this at Disneyland in the Pixar Pier area too.
Oh, really? Like
just the kind of ride that made you feel like you were going over the edge.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go to Disneyland as much where we live in Florida, but so I can't remember exactly what it is. I'm sure somebody out there does.
I know they do have some carnival type experiences. Like
that's what they were going for. Yeah. They've since they still have some stuff like that, but they've since kind of shifted away from that, and now it's Pixar Pier instead of Paradise Pier. That Paradise Pier was kind of based on the shore,
like a boardwalk.
Boardwalk. Boardwalk.
And it still kind of is. It's just now it's also Pixar.
Yes, yeah.
Pixar Boardwalk, not just.
But I feel like they're like going more Disney and less Carnival, like as the years go by.
Yeah.
Like changing from California Scream and the roller coaster to Incredicoaster was like a pretty big same ride, but pretty big shift in theming.
Yeah, and it's controversial because there are some people who are kind of like sticklers for thematic integrity that would say, oh, well, it was a more pure, like purely themed experience beforehand. And there are those who will criticize the Pixar overlay as just like slapping Pixar stickers on the rides you already had, which like that is what they did. So like you're valid for that. But
yeah,
if
I
you're
see your
someone
point.
who like enjoys the Pixar franchise stuff and Disney sees that there's not as much Pixar as they would like to see in the park, and they see they've got this part of their park that appears maybe a little lowbrow, whatever, or like not as well constructed as the rest of Disney, then you can see why they would want to like add pop culture value to the situation to try to excite guest interest in the area again.
Yeah, I like it better personally as Incredicoaster because it's more it's themed to a movie that's like my favorite Pixar movie of all time.
Who doesn't love that music too?
I know. I love the even the art that is associated with that movie. I love. And it's got humor. It adds humor, which when it was California Screamin', I loved it as California Screamin'. Don't come at me, but there wasn't much to it other than you're on a roller coaster.
Yeah, it was meant to emulate that classic boardwalk roller coaster feeling.
Right.
Full stop.
Yeah, but it didn't even really do that because those seem like wooden and rickety to me. And this is pretty. Anyway, I keep dragging you way off topic. I'm so sorry.
That's the name of the show.
Yeah.
Off topic Disney.
This is like that's going to be my. It's going to say more with Morgan, the person that drags you off topic.
That's okay. The topic is Disney. All right.
So you liked that ride. That's where we were at. Sorry, you liked Primeval World.
Yeah, Primeval World was great, but I was always there for Dinosaur. Dinosaur was the main reason I was in Dinoland USA. This was definitely has always been one of my favorite rides.
Do you know what the budget was for Dinosaur?
No.
Okay, I bet it was huge, especially compared to like Primeval World.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems like such a high budget ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I really like about the ride is the story. It also incorporates, like you were saying, just now with the Incredicoaster, it has humor woven in throughout, which is nice. The premise
in the pre-show.
Yeah. Not in the I mean, you get a little bit of narration, but it's mostly thrilling in the ride. You don't really get a lot of humor in the
little tongue in cheek, but not laugh out loud.
It's mostly in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Because that's very
because there's a puppet.
Edutainment oriented. Because he has to explain the safety instructions somehow.
Yeah.
The premise of the attraction is that the guests would enter the institute, and then you're recruited by paleontologist Dr. Grant Seeker, who has one of the best pun names in Disney history, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who like recruits you on a mission to take back a dinosaur from the past and bring it to the present. And there's only one problem, which is that there's a giant meteor that wiped out life on Earth, making its way to you.
On Earth.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And if you guys haven't watched or listened to our podcast that was about the best pre-shows in Disney, this is featured. I'd go back and check out that episode. That was like one of the most fun episodes.
Oh yeah, the pre-show episode.
Yeah.
This is like a classic Disney pre-show.
Yeah, this is one where it's got one-liners that I put on shirts. You know what I mean? It's got it's just something that you remember and you quote. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That pre-show. Well, before you even get to the pre-show, there's in-queue narration from Bill Nye, who is kind of walking you through the meteor collision with Earth.
In the museum, yeah.
Yeah, in the museum room that you're in. And there's also like a little model overhead that shows you the path of the meteor toward the planet. And then in the pre-show, you've got Felicia Rashad. Wow, I just said that too fast. Felicia Rashad. And then you're out of there and you go down the stairs and you're in this big loading area, which has like fire alarm type lights that are like swirling around and making it seem like fun. There's like, I don't know, danger or science or both going on.
Can I jump in if I don't get us off track?
Yeah,
okay.
Jump in.
So you mentioned Felicia Rashad.
Yeah.
Right? So if you don't know, she's from The Cosby Show. Right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, she was in Psych, if that's one of my favorite shows of all time. Do we know the actor that plays Dr. Seeker?
I'm sure the internet does.
Yeah,
I don't
I
have it in
haven't
front
seen
of
him
me.
in anything else, but it's so funny because if I saw him in something now, I'd freak out. I'd be like, "Oh my god, it's Dr. Seeker!" You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, you'd
That's
recognize.
how big the pre-show has an impact. You know what I mean?
We've wrote it a bunch of times too.
Yeah.
We'd know right away.
Yeah. Okay. I just didn't know if he had been in anything that you knew of.
No,
I'm
I
sure
don't
he
know.
has, but yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
Okay, cool.
And then from there, you get in your Time Rover, which is a Disney advanced motion vehicle, and Disney says that you navigate hairpin turns, loud noises, low lighting, and I say a bunch of cool dinosaur animatronics, and that's kind of the ride experience. Um, it's not a roller coaster. It's not a regular dark ride. The advanced motion vehicles are like, well, first of all, they're the same ride vehicle from the Indiana Jones adventure that had opened at Disneyland.
Is the track identical to Indiana Jones?
Yeah, they have the same track layout and the same ride vehicle.
Okay, interesting. Not the same speed? Is it the same ride, just with different animatronics?
I don't. No, it's not the same speed. We looked it up, and one was like 12 miles an hour, and the
Oh
other
yeah.
was like 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like both ridiculously slow.
Yeah, wild.
But they are the same track layout, and it's the same ride vehicle, just reskinned, just a different exterior.
I hate that term.
Reskinned?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's worse when they say it about animatronics.
I know. It comes up a lot in like our research and stuff like that, and I always shake my head.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, and the cool part about them is that they've got a base that's on the wheels that like drive you in the direction that you're trying to go. But then it's got a separately articulated.
Are the wheels moving?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's got a separately articulated seating structure on the top that can also like move you different directions.
Yeah, because sometimes you're tipping, but your wheels are probably on the ground.
Right.
Do you know which came first, this ride or the Indiana Jones?
I think Indiana Jones.
Okay, interesting. But probably close, right?
I'll
look up when it came out while you go on.
Okay. So that's how the ride operated in kind of the same state.
Yeah, Indiana Jones opened in 1995, and this opened in, you said, 98, right? It was an opening ride attraction for Animal Kingdom. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
So
So cool. April 22nd, 1998 was when Animal Kingdom opened.
Mm-hmm.
So this had a 3-year jump.
Yeah. So it kind of borrowed that same ride system.
And it wasn't. Never mind. I lied. I was about to lie, so I'm not going to.
Well, the truth is that on May 1st, 2000, the ride changed its names and signs to Dinosaur. To coincide with the movie release of the same name. So it was
not the unpopular movie of the same name. I mean, like, I haven't seen it. Have you seen
Dinosaur?
it?
Nope. Never seen it one time. We've both ridden this ride hundreds of times.
Hundreds, yeah.
But never seen the movie Dinosaur. Yeah. But that's not what Michael Eisner wanted. He wanted you to be so inspired by the ride that you 100% saw the movie.
Or vice versa?
But no, it was to market the movie, really. Because at the same time, there was an attraction in Animal Kingdom called the Discovery Island Riverboats. And it was basically like a little sampling of everything that you could experience from your day at Animal Kingdom, including...
Oh, it came out in 2000, that movie. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. The dinosaur movie?
Yeah.
Right. So that's why he changed
He immediately was like, okay, this movie's coming out.
Movie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So on this river tour, there was a little scene that was meant to like tease Beastly Kingdom, and it was like a dragon's keep. And it was going to have an animatronic dragon in it that was going to be like impressive.
They still thought it was coming?
Yes, at this point they had made the decision to bump Beastly Kingdom to the supposed phase 2,
but not scrap it.
Of Animal Kingdom, but not scrap it. But if you know anything about Epcot history, phase 2 means it's probably never going to happen.
Oh.
And unfortunately, that is what happened with Beastly
It's like
Kingdom.
when your mom says maybe.
It's like when your mom says maybe. Although the rare exception to that is Horizons, which was always planned for Epcot, got bumped to phase 2, but then was constructed. And look at how wonderful it was.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Beastly Kingdom did not get that fate. And it never even got the dinosaur or the dragon animatronic it was supposed to get on the river tour because Dinosaur had just come out, the movie. So Michael Eisner instead decided to spend that animatronic dragon's money to build an animatronic dinosaur to promote both the ride and the movie. And it was an iguanodon. Aladar is his name in the movie, I think. But so he was on the river tour, and he was like a fully scaled animatronic that you could like float by.
An animatronic on a boat?
No, he's on the shore.
Oh, right,
you're
right.
on the boat.
Right. You've told me about this before. I'm sorry, I forgot that fact.
No, it's okay. And unfortunately, that ride wasn't super popular, so the animatronic didn't get a lot of use because once the ride closed, it kind of just sat there for years, and then they shipped it to Disneyland Paris so they could use it in their Walt Disney Studios Park backlot tour in the Boneyard section, similar to the MGM one that we had for years.
Yeah.
They had like a bunch of movie props and stuff back there.
Do you know if he's still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
That ride exists? They still have a backlot tour?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always curious.
They still have Catastrophe Canyon.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've got to get out there before they take it away. I'm always curious where an animatronic goes after, because Disney doesn't get rid of their animatronics for the most part. Mm-hmm. So I'm always curious about that. That's interesting.
This one is very sad because
this one is kind of sad.
Because it was rotting. Outside, the skin kind of got messed up. So they de-skinned it.
Here we are again. Yeah. Circle back.
And they sent the bones over to Paris.
Okay.
Fun. But also, he renamed that ride Dinosaur from Countdown to Extinction, and that's when we got the statue of the iguanodon and the fountain in front of the ride that we have now.
What was out there before?
A different dinosaur. Thank you for asking.
Okay. And that, just a statue.
Yeah, it was just a statue, and the name of the ride, and also they inserted, like, a brief clip from the movie into the pre-show to show you what the dinosaur was going to look like. Although it was pretty like
and handy. At the end, huh?
The end of what?
Well, at the end you come around and they're like, look who came back with you.
Oh, right. Is that a clip from the movie?
No, but it's probably the dinosaur from the movie.
Oh, well, the attraction always starred an iguanodon and a Carnotaurus.
That's so interesting.
So they didn't even have to change.
Yeah. I wonder if when they were making the movie, they were inspired by the ride.
Oh, interesting. I have no idea. Yeah. Maybe, first we'd have to know who made which animation studio made Dinosaur. And by that I mean there was animation happening, and this is computer animation, so it really makes me not know.
Yeah.
Probably Glendale, because in Orlando at the time, they were animating things like Lilo and Stitch.
You're saying what city?
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Because they had two animation studios.
Got it.
One in Orlando where they were doing things like the Roger Rabbit sequels, the little shorts that they made, the Lilo and Stitch movie. And in Glendale, they were probably animating Dinosaur, I would guess.
Yeah. I don't know. This doesn't really...
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Anyway, the ride, that was really the only major change to the ride at the time.
Arizona? That says filming location.
Oh, they filmed things for...
I haven't seen the movie. Maybe I can't... I don't know. I guess
we have to watch
We should watch the movie, yeah.
I don't think we're going to like it, though.
I don't think so either. I actually didn't like The Good Dinosaur. I hope that doesn't upset anybody, but...
I'm sure it has its fans.
Yeah.
Although there are some references to the original name of the ride, like there's the lettering CTX on each ride car, which is a reference to Countdown to Extinction.
Oh. I love how they do the Easter eggs.
Yeah, that is fun. One operations change, though, was that they lightened the ride in some parts to make it more kid-friendly. They added some light because it was very dark and scary, and Dinosaur was a movie about dinosaurs, but also was directly being marketed to children, so they couldn't make it feel that dark and scary, so they didn't want the ride to be that dark and scary, because all the fans of the movie then would get too scared of the ride.
Right.
But the ride was already pretty scary, so I think it was kind of hard for them to walk it back at that point. And instead, I think it kind of just like lessened the impact of because as time has gone on, they've added more light to the ride slowly but surely, and I think every time they do, I don't like it. I like it when it's dark.
It seems like a weird direction to go. You would think that they would darken it as the time goes to like keep you from seeing things that aren't working.
That's what they should do.
Yeah.
They should just turn off some of the lights on it. That's what
that'd be a Halloween overlay.
Right. For the Animal Kingdom Halloween party.
Yeah. The midday Halloween
right. All right. As time has gone on, other than ruining the ride a little bit by adding light to it, there have been some changes to some of the effects that have happened in the ride, and they were compiled in an article by Parkeology. So credit to them for this list. And there are some more, but these are some of the ones that are more interesting.
Oh, good. We get to find out about the end scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one is that there was a pterodactyl that used to swoop down from the ceiling. That has been replaced by a static figure pterodactyl.
Well, it's the same one, right? It
just I think doesn't. So,
yeah. And now they just turn a light on.
Yeah, and now there's a light on it, and the original pterodactyl swooping sound is still in the ride from when it used to swoop.
Yeah, it kind of gives it a Disco Yeti effect.
Yep.
Do you know why? Do you know why it stopped working?
I don't think there's like an official reason.
So it's
that
like
Disney
the Yeti.
Gave, but the explanation that I have heard on the internet, which is not verified and could not be true, is that there was no. If the pterodactyl were to break in some way, there was nothing immediately protecting guests from it, is what I heard. But there's a lot of situations in rides where that's true. But like maybe there was something about the mechanics in the top
that made it more likely,
that made it less safe. I don't know. It's really speculation, but it doesn't work anymore.
Safety does seem like a good guess.
Yeah, I mean, if I thought something in my ride was maybe a little less than safe, I would definitely maybe think about how to make it different. There's also an effect in the very first primeval scene where you pass by the Styracosaurus, nailed it, and then oh gosh, the Alioramus.
I think he says Alioramus.
Okay, devouring a smaller crocodilian. So that's that famous scene where the one dinosaur is eating the other dinosaur.
Yeah. There's also a poster outside when you exit that has that.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, it's like kind of comical.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I like it.
Yeah. It was surprising the first time.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. But over there in that area, there was a dinosaur guarding her sleeping babies.
Oh.
And that was one of the effects. It was like an open scene. But after a while it was replaced by like a scrim where there's like a horizon and a volcano.
Why? Babies?
I don't know.
That sounds cute.
There was also like a meteor shower effect there, and that doesn't work anymore.
That's weird.
Yeah. That Dr. Seeker and Dr. Marsh in the script are like, look out for meteor showers, but then you don't see any meteor showers. But originally there was a meteor shower in the ride, and now it just doesn't work anymore. It was like an overhead lighting effect, I think. But that's sad.
Well, you're aware that they're like coming at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are also things called, oh gosh, I should have looked up how to pronounce any of these, but I didn't. There were small Compsognathus.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Compsognathus. I think Compsognathus is how he pronounces it in the ride.
Compsognathus.
I don't know that from a dinosaur point of view. I just remember hearing him say that.
They look like little lizards.
Yeah.
They would jump over your vehicle, and it was like after the pterodactyl. But now it's a screen.
Yeah.
Now it's like a screen of them like
they're like little miniature dinosaurs that are jumping. Yeah.
They look cute.
Yeah.
But originally they were like puppets on wires that would like be
I can't even imagine. You don't know when, right?
No.
Because Disney doesn't tell you. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But they were puppets on wires, and it was like they were on like a rotating arm or something that like flung them all at the same time, like over the top of you, which was, in my opinion, from the footage I've seen of it, it looked super cute.
Oh, really?
But like I don't know why it went away, but I'm sad it's just a screen now. Although like it is a good screen.
It's a good screen and you pass it pretty fast.
Yeah. It's pretty quick.
I don't remember the original effect, but if it was like not working a lot, sometimes
maintenance
you take
problems.
what you can get.
That Indiana Jones over at Disneyland has a bunch of those like things that have been turned off because of maintenance. Yeah, like they also had a scene when you first get into the big temple room where there would be like it was meant to be like rubble falling from the ceiling down a spotlight.
Oh.
It was just ice on a conveyor belt.
Oh,
but
cool.
the conveyor belt never worked, so they had to take the effect away. But you can still hear it in the sound track of the ride,
right?
Which is exactly like the pterodactyl, who's like making a swooping sound.
But the way they light him up, I feel like makes you feel like he's moving, so that works.
Yeah,
and that probably works
right.
too. And you know something's crumbling around, and you just don't get to see it, which was their original intention.
Right.
Yeah, that's too bad. So that one sounds like it never worked. The conveyor belt Indiana Jones one, or
no, it did work for some time, but they gave up on it because it kept being faulty, I guess.
Bummer.
Which was kind of, here, let me not continue to name things that are broken.
Okay.
I need to stay on track, unlike the conveyor belt, which always fell off the track. Back in the 1990s, Imagineering had come out with an effect called a vortex generator, which sounds like some real like science fiction type stuff.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man made that. Or something.
Yeah, I like it.
But the idea was that they were going to make like a puff of smoke and lighting and put projections in the lighting and work with shadows within the lighting. And that was going to be how they could create like realistic movement with projection mapping and lighting, like it was a solid object within the light, which was like the technique that they were going for. I wish I had another example of how they use this.
Do they use it?
Yes, and a couple different rides. But
is it just that you can't think of anything? Because I can
look
it up.
I can't think of
what's it called?
It's called, let's go back. The vortex generator. I think you might steal that to help Star-Lord in Epcot.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's the cosmic generator.
Oh, Countdown to Extinction is the first thing that comes up.
That's what we're doing. We can do it ourselves.
What do you mean?
Well,
it shows you how to do it?
Yeah, one of them was like DIY vortex
generator.
Oh my gosh. Cool.
Well, go on. I'll tell you if I find anything.
Okay, yeah. It was like the hot technology of the time, apparently, and so they wanted to incorporate it in the Countdown to Extinction. So they used it at the end of the ride when the meteor is coming toward Earth. So this effect was going to simulate that a meteor was coming right at your car, was coming right at your like ride vehicle from above, in the form of like a beam of light.
Okay.
Which was really interesting, but apparently it was very tricky. So they ended up replacing it, abandoning it, and so they put that Carnotaurus head in there.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we get the Carnotaurus finale.
Weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the only real thing that looks like identical or like super similar to the Jurassic Park Adventure ride.
Yeah, and I think that used to be scary to me. I feel like now you can see but maybe it's just because I look for too long. Mm-hmm. Like you can see the mechanics of him.
Yeah.
But I'm probably not looking at what I'm
dinosaur one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And see that he's just a head.
Yeah, he's a little not so scary. I think the Jurassic Park River Adventure one is much more like, it's cooler. It's like a full body cool dinosaur that walks toward you. Although I will say they are letting it absolutely rot in that building.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been degrading in quality ever since I was a kid, I think.
Interesting.
Which is sad. Maybe honestly, I'm feeling, you know how in Universal Hollywood they rethemed that to Jurassic World, the ride?
Yeah.
I feel like that's eminent.
I'm surprised that they haven't. Yeah, you're right. It's probably...
Weren't you shocked that they put in Velocicoaster, a brand new Jurassic World attraction, before they even did anything about the Jurassic Park ride?
No, because all theme parks seem to do that. You know what I mean? I feel like having a new headliner makes them feel like they're going to get more people coming just for that new headliner.
Yeah.
Where saying, hey, we fixed a ride that you've already been on a bunch. You know what I mean?
Only the fans probably.
Yeah. People like us that go all the time would care for sure. But I think that when they say, oh, brand new, big, huge ride, people, from all over the world want to come.
Yeah.
I can't find. I mean, yeah, I can't find
tough
anything.
thing to Google. I'm sorry.
Yeah, tough thing to Google. Stuff comes up, but I don't know that it actually has it.
All right, I'll do some research and get back to you for sure.
Okay.
Anyway, that's how we got the Carnotaurus head at the end. The planned effect. There's also a planned effect right after that where there's this part in the ride now where we actually brought it up. You brought it up for a second, where you have the dinosaur with you, like you've gotten it back.
Right.
Originally, in that part now, you see that you pass like a wall that's a mirror wall, but there's no clear reason why that's a mirror wall. But originally, it's because they were going to Haunted Mansion dining room style Pepper's Ghost, the dinosaur, into your ride car. So as you were going by, you could see that he was there with you.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah. But
did that ever work?
That never even happened. That was never even there for like cast previews of Animal Kingdom or anything. It never was installed. Which
is weird because they've got the technology for that.
Right. Maybe it was just, but maybe it was something like the Hatbox Ghost originally where like they tested it and it worked, but then when they got in the environment with all of the lighting and all of the ambient light and whatever. Also, that's right toward the end, and I bet at the end they have some base probably lighting specifications for safety. Like it has to be so bright for you to be able to safely get out of a ride car without breaking your leg or whatever.
Yeah, I guess it is like close enough to the exit. I was gonna say the Haunted Mansion one is at the end too, but it's in a separate room.
Right. Maybe So
maybe you're right. Maybe it needs more dark.
But either way, we never got that, which is kind of sad because that sounds awesome. Instead, you get a TV monitor.
Yeah.
Where you see the dinosaur.
And you got the dino.
You got that dino. You made it.
Yeah.
That's how the ride is right now with all of those effects that I just talked about. And in 2023 at D23, Disney hinted that a new Indiana Jones attraction might make its way to a rethemed Dino Land and Animal Kingdom. So unfortunately, it looks like the extinction is imminent.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just the things they said could happen to Dino Land USA are so all over the map to me. I just can't make this work in my head as a part of Animal Kingdom that makes any cohesive sense.
Right. So originally they said maybe some Moana, maybe some Encanto, or was it Moana and Coco at first?
No, I don't think it was Coco. I think it was Moana and Zootopia.
Oh, right.
You didn't say that. Did you? Moana, Zootopia, Indiana Jones. Those were all mentioned. Encanto, maybe?
Encanto.
Was it? Maybe that's just a fan thing.
Yeah. Definitely Zootopia.
I don't think it was Coco because I think Michael would have freaked out.
I remember Zootopia. I remember they were saying Zootopia, and I remember they showed some concept art for like a Moana spinning attraction of some kind with like kites or something.
Right.
And then it completely changed again to like Central America. So now like
was that official?
That's what they were talking about.
Officially. Bless you. Sorry.
You. Well, on stage at D23, I'll let you decide what's official and what's not.
Okay, so it was them. It was them. It wasn't people just saying on the internet.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't seem like they're super committed to it either. I know. Who can say?
It's hard, because this isn't a cohesive idea. So you're telling us things that might happen, but they don't go together. So are you really putting a bunch of rides together that don't have a connection?
Well, the new one seems more connected because the last one was Zootopia and Moana, which I don't think have anything to do with each other.
I don't either.
But Central America,
and it was Indiana Jones, right?
I guess maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know when Indiana Jones entered the picture. Definitely,
I'm pretty sure it was right at the beginning.
They said about dinosaur though, or they didn't even mention dinosaur by name. They just said a new Indiana Jones attraction experience might be making its way.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Could we have jumped to a conclusion that we should not have?
Well,
what else would it be? I know, but they've got like that boneyard area where you can dig up stuff.
Yeah, it's totally, I mean, it is possible that it's not an Indiana Jones retheme coming to like the dinosaur attraction.
If it were all Indiana Jones and archaeology, and that would make sense to me, you know what I mean?
Sure.
If it were all Moana, but I don't think that fits with Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Zootopia would make sense as a whole, but I don't really understand them doing both.
No, I don't. But Zootopia isn't even part of the conversation anymore. I don't think, because now Zootopia is coming to Underneath the Tree of Life. That's what they did with that.
That's right.
So now we've got Central America, supposedly, which is Encanto. No. Which is Coco, right? And what's the other one? Indiana Jones. Yeah.
I don't know.
Doesn't seem like.
I mean, Coco's definitely. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So who knows what that means? And also, it's not like they said this is definitely what they were doing. They said, imagine adventures like this.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's coming, but we know that dinosaurs probably going away.
Oh, yeah. I think that's the only thing we really know. That, to me, that's what I know. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because Dinosaur the Ride is just a loosely dinosaur ride. And not loosely, it is a dinosaur ride. And Dinosaur the movie didn't do super well, so it's not like Disney has any stake in wanting to keep the dinosaur movie in the parks.
Right.
So I feel like the next time they spend some big money on Animal Kingdom, maybe they'll just get rid of it. You know, very possible.
And Animal Kingdom's probably the next one to get some sort of overhaul. We've had an overhaul in Epcot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Animal Kingdom feels due.
Yeah. I mean, Pandora was a pretty big expansion, but that was some years ago now.
So. And since then, everybody else has gotten something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you count Tron.
Yeah. They should leave Dinosaur alone. They should build a new ride where Primeval World was and let it be. But that's not what's going to happen because dinosaurs don't live in Central America anymore. All right, Morgan. Do you have any questions about the dinosaur ride?
Let me see. Well, I already asked. I had a list of questions for you because I wanted to make sure I covered a bunch of just questions that I've had over the years about it. Let me see. We talked about what it's going to turn into. You said how fast it goes, right?
Yeah, I think 12 miles an hour.
It goes incredibly slow, you guys. I don't understand this at all. Doesn't it feel like you're going very fast?
Yeah.
Or it just feels intense, and I associate that with speed, I guess.
There are some points where I do feel like I'm going fast. But also I know this is one of those rides where because of the motion of the ride vehicle, it's like meant to make it seem faster than it is. Like if you tip people down, they feel like they're going faster and stuff. Right. So maybe that's what it is.
That has to be what it is.
I was surprised to see how low the speed was.
When I found out that Space Mountain was like 20-something miles per hour, I posted that as trivia on our Instagram. I was shocked.
Yeah.
But this is crazier. Not worse, just crazier. Like, I mean, I guess it's a impressive.
Yeah.
Because it's such an intense ride. You can make kids
cry their eyes out at only 12 miles an hour.
Yeah.
How did you do it? Yeah, it is impressive how thrilling it feels for going so slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I feel kind of sad because I feel like I'm doing a
goodbye episode.
Eulogy.
I know.
I know. It's not even dead yet, but it's on its way. That's sad.
Well, poor we can hope that their new plans become a phase 2.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Sure. Ride it while you can.
Yeah. Yeah, ride it while you can, just in case.
And if you want to impress all of the dinosaur cast members, then you can wear you can wear a t-shirt from the Neverland Navigation Etsy shop that honors the ride with one of our new dinosaur designs.
Yeah, Jake created a design for our Etsy shop, and it says, "Let's go get that dino," and it has the super fun colors, and I feel like it's got the vibe, that Dinoland USA vibe. You really captured it with this design. So
thank you.
Yeah, go to Etsy and search Neverland Navigation. That's our shop.
Yeah, it's a great place to get some Disney-inspired T-shirts or like hand towels or hoodies or like
whatever you yeah. You can send us a message and tell us what your favorite attraction is, or if you've got a significant other you're buying for their birthday or something, you tell me what their favorite attraction is, and I'll send you some design options that aren't listed on the store. I don't list everything.
It's like a secret menu.
Yeah, It is exactly like that. That's fun.
Also, if you want to follow us on social media, we are on Instagram, where you can find Disney trivia, where you can find content from within the parks, fun facts, all kinds of stuff. And we also have TikTok that does like history of Disney stuff, some short form content from around the parks, and both are at Neverland Navigation Co.
No, Neverland Navco.
How have I been doing this for so many episodes?
Because we have so many different things. It's like for our website, it's neverlandnavigation.co. And then some of them we had to shorten it to Navco.
Mm-hmm. You guys know how it is with the usernames.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow us there if you want to see some short form content. We have some new content coming to them soon that we're excited about. And the Instagram is always a fun time for a little trivia stuff. I love to see stuff like how slow Space Mountain goes on there. It's so interesting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you can win all the Disney Cruise Line trivia if you just follow us.
Yeah, that's real incentive. Win some medals on your next cruise.
Yeah.
Prep with us. All right. Well, hey, until our next favorite dead ride.
It's not dead yet.
All right.
Be nice.
I'm calling it too early.
You are.
On our favorite next ride, whose extinction is coming.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see you on our next adventure. Bye.
Bye.